What's up, you guys? This is Jay Young2 back with another video. And in this video today, I'm going to be discussing the Clippers. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. This season, man, ever since the All-Star break, the Clippers have been 17-5. They've been, on paper, the best team in basketball. They also have a better offensive rating than the Brooklyn Nets as well during this run as well. But not only that, but we've seen improvement as well from Kawhi Leonard. He's played more of a playmaking role this season. And as well as Paul George, he's also been playing a better playmaking role this year for this Clippers team. But we all know how good these two are. You know, these two are some of the greatest defensive pairing players in NBA history when you put them together, alongside being some of the best two-way players as well in basketball. And because of these two, it's the reason why the Clippers have been so good this year, but also because of the acquisitions of Serge Ibaka, who's out right now, obviously with injury. But he's been a huge plus protecting the rim for the Clippers, his ability to make shots, and just do a bunch of things for this Clippers team, as well as adding Luke Kennard, who's another really good shooter, as well as acquiring Rajon Rondo, who has been actually a really big piece for this Clippers team. I feel like, personally, in my opinion, what this team, they learned from their last season is, you know, sometimes less is more. And I feel like the Clippers, obviously, you look at them on paper, this team is pretty deep with the talent that they have already on this roster with Reggie Jackson, Markieff Morris, as I said before, Serge Ibaka, Rondo, Luke Kennard. You have Zubac, Nicolas Batum, and as well as Patrick Beverley, who we all know is a defensive stud. But all these guys, I feel like, have definitely helped this season for this Clippers team. Despite them suffering from injuries throughout the entire NBA season, this team still has lots of chemistry as well when you look at the duo between Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. But this season for Kawhi Leonard, you can even make an argument that he should be in the MVP discussion. Yes, he hasn't been playing in all of the games, but he's played in most of the games this season. He's been shooting the most efficient percentage of his career this season. And not only that, but Paul George as well has been definitely playing like a second option for this Clippers team. I'm definitely glad to see that the Clippers have taken a big step up compared to what they were last season. Last season, obviously, they suffered from, lack of chemistry and things like that. But this season, despite, all the things that have been happening, this team has still been able to gel. Obviously, there's still many questions that's going to have to be answered, but this team, when you lay it on paper, the truth is that the Clippers, they have, in my opinion, the most pressure out of any other NBA team. LeBron and the Lakers, they've already won the championship. They've already established themselves as a team who is worthy. But when you look at the Clippers and you look at who they have on the roster, especially Kawhi Leonard, and last season on the shutdown, what they had against the Denver Nuggets, that team has the most to prove out of any other NBA team in the entire NBA. The Clippers, on paper, are a really good team, and, we see Paul George always dominate in the regular season, but it's time to really see, especially, and we've been heard reports that he's definitely improved his mentality and things like that. We have to definitely see how that can transition onto the playoff basketball course, because personally, in my opinion, I believe now, especially with Jamal Murray being out on the Denver Nuggets, I feel like, the Clippers have a surefire shot out contending and going to the Western Conference Finals this season, which would obviously be their first in franchise history. But when I see guys like Kawhi Leonard is playing again like how the Kawhi Leonard was when he was with the Raptors and the Spurs. He's been playing at such a high level, and he's been playing, just back to normal for what it seems like. And it's just amazing to see, too, just how good he has been this season, and he really should be the MVP conversation, as I said before, not only because of his efficiency, but his playmaking ability. This season, he's been playing much better on that aspect of his game. But when I look at this Clippers team on paper, they have a perfect balance of many things: shooting, defense, rim protection, playmaking. So many things that help this team that balances out overall, in my opinion, which is why they've been so successful this season. And the scary part about this Clippers team as well is that they haven't really fully played together, but they're still winning all of these games. So imagine when everybody's back fully healthy, this team is going to be very dangerous, especially if Rondo continues to play as well at that level that we know he's capable of playing at. He's done it throughout his entire NBA career, especially in the playoffs. He's able to take it up another level, and what he brought to the Lakers last season was a huge reason why, in my opinion, they won the NBA championship. You can literally just hear him last season in the finals just communicating constantly to his teammates. And he's going to do that same thing for the Clippers, and he already has been. Because as we all know, the Clippers, if that's the one thing that we've all been talking about with them, is that the lack of leadership. Especially with Kawhi Leonard. He's not really the type of guy who is the quote-unquote alpha of the team. You know, especially when he went to the Raptors, you can tell Kawhi Leonard wasn't really that guy who was that leader type of guy on the team. It was more so Kyle Lowry who took on that role. And now for this Clippers team, I feel like that's definitely been a struggle for them to find that guy who can be that leader on this team. And I feel like that's some good reason why as well they lost last season, because all these things, even not just talking about all the analytics, stats, and all those things, this stuff matters just as much. Chemistry, all these things matter so much because your team has to be perfect in order to even compete for an NBA championship to begin with. But I think Rondo helps in that department very, very well, alongside guys like Patrick Beverley, who's just that dog on the team. But this team, they have so many good pieces surrounding this roster. You know, they still are one of the deepest teams as well in basketball. So there's no doubt in my mind. I feel like the Clippers, they can definitely compete and go to the Western Conference Finals and possibly to the NBA Finals. They're loaded. But, you know, only time will tell, and we will see what happens when the playoffs come, because that's really the true answer to all of these questions that we've been having. Sure, they look like a team on paper that is legit, and they've been playing very good basketball, but only the playoffs will prove to see if the Clippers are really legit or not. Also, as I said before about the Clippers, you know, they definitely went the right direction with having less star level players on their roster, like having Lou Williams last season and Montrezl Harrell, but they still replaced Harrell with Ibaka, and he's been playing very well. You still have, like I said before, so many other good pieces on this roster that helps this team truly be one of the best teams in basketball. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. The Clippers, man, they are definitely a team with the most pressure and expectation, and we will see what they do when the playoffs come. But have a good day. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more basketball content. Peace.